We're back to school at MATC, and we couldn't be happier about it. Today, we'll be taking a walk through the Early Childhood Education program out in Mequon. Then, we'll figure out why the Radiography program has such a long wait list and why it's well worth the wait. All this and more on this week's episode of MATC Now. Good afternoon and welcome to Season 10 of MATC Now. I'm your host, Nicolas Calvache, and I'm so happy that you're here. Joining me today in the studio is my friend Denzel Renfro, the leading student ambassador of the Veterans Resource Center. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Denzel, what services does the Veterans Resource Center provide for its students?
Right now, what we provide is services for our veterans to get into school right after their service, providing financial economy and as well as conservative information that could help them get back into civilian life.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing all of that. Once again, we're so glad to have you in the studio, Denzel.
Thank you.
Out of the studio today and poking around the Early Childhood Education program is our field correspondent, Max Martinson. How's it going out there, guys?
Thanks, Nick. We're here at the Mequon campus, checking out some of the facilities here at the Child Care Center. Check back with us in a bit to learn more.
Can't wait to catch up with you later, Max. And now, student producer Gigi Gray and passion reporter Lasierra Flowers highlight student John Williams' passion for his work and community. And after that, student producer Minxie Perez will introduce us to Carla Eichelberger, Director of Student Accommodations here at MATC.
It doesn't take a lot, just a little bit at a time. In this world, maybe it can change one day.
Community is defined as connections that are geographical, but also based on shared interests, values, and cultures. At MATC Downtown Campus in room S215 is where you can find not only food and supplies, but the heart of these connections. I am Lasierra Flowers, and this is a Student Passion Report. Beyond the rice, canned goods, ready-to-go meals, and even diapers, MATC's food pantry has it all. But what truly makes it special isn't just the supplies on the shelves, it's the people behind them. One of them is John Williams, a first-year gaming student who discovered something bigger than himself here. John found his passion. Can you describe a memorable moment or interaction at the pantry that really stuck with you?
Every day is a great moment for me. Just being able to see a lot of students come in and out of the pantry, being able to get those resources available to them, just marks the memorable moments for me. Just to be able to see that smile on those faces. A lot of people come in here pretty sad, pretty angry, but once they leave out of here with the food, with the resources we gave them, it's a whole different outcome. Everyone's happy, everyone's ready to go home and dig into their bags and get in their food. So to me, those are memorable moments for me.
In what ways do you think your work at the pantry connects with your future goals and career dreams?
By doing this, being able to support people in many ways and give them the resources, give them the food, this is a step to that. Then I'll be able to understand those people a little bit more because them coming in brings stories. And I will always love to listen to people's stories. And that gives me, like I said, a broader just kind of outlook on everybody that I talk to and meet with and give support to, if that makes sense.
What have you learned about empathy, leadership, and teamwork with your time at the pantry?
Being able to provide what we have to offer here at the Student Resource Center, I feel as if that put me into a position where people look up to me and bring me that leadership role. And a lot of people come in here a lot, asking for me. And that makes me feel happy, just to see that there's people coming in here when I'm not here asking for my services, asking for my help. So that goes on that leadership part. The empathy, you never know where anybody's coming from, what they got going on in their life. So like when you come in here and you come in with a sad face, I'm trying to make that frown turn upside down, So I expect you to walk out this door happier than you came in.
If you can share one message with your peers about the importance of giving back, what would you say?
please, as much as possible, give back, do as much as you can, love one another equally. We're all in this together, and let's help each other out as much as possible.
I am the Director of Student Accommodations and Interpreting Services. So basically I have two departments. Interpreting services, they provide services for students who are deaf or hard of hearing. Student accommodations, they provide support for students with any documented disability. So a student would have to apply for accommodations, and then I have a facilitator who reviews their documentation of disability. And then once they are approved for accommodations, and that student will have those accommodations for the remainder of their educational career here at MATC. We provide testing accommodations, and that means when a student is approved for testing accommodations, they may have a special environment, a quiet testing booth, or extra time on tests. And when I say extra time on tests, an example would be if a student, if the classroom is getting an hour for the test, if a student had an approved accommodation of double time, that student would get a full hour, 2 hours for that particular test. We also provide a lot of adaptive equipment such as CCTV, closed circuit televisions, and those for students who are visually impaired. We may provide a service such as a smart pen. A smart pen is basically, it looks like an ink pen, but actually it records the student's lecture, especially, and that really works for a student who has maybe a learning disability or ADHD. And so that gives that student opportunities to focus on the lecture while the pen is actually recording the lecture for them. Another accommodation would be a preferential seating. If a student is visually impaired, they may, any class they're in, they may be able to have an assigned seat in front of the class. Also, if there's a physical impairment, they may have a special chair in the classroom. So it depends on the student's needs. And so usually when a student requests accommodations, they give us a list of things that would be beneficial while they're in school that would help to basically level the playing field to make sure they're getting their needs met. And then we work with that student to meet all those needs. I do this because I see there's a huge need for individuals who need a little more help to meet their goals. And so it's always been a passion of mine, and I advocate for our students. My team advocates for our students, and we really understand the need to have that extra help. And again, it's not to give them an advantage, it's to level the playing field.
Wow. MATC just has so many resources for students getting back to their studies, huh?
From what I can see, Nick, it's hard to say otherwise. We have such an amazing community and support for our college.
That we do. And now it's time to check back in with field correspondent Max Martinson, who is visiting the folks over at Early Childhood Education. Max?
Thanks, Nick. As I mentioned before, we're here exploring the MEC campus here in the Child Care Center, and today I have with me Michelle Cumming. Michelle, how's it going today?
So far, so good. Thanks for asking.
Good to hear, and thank you for having us here. Now, can you explain to us your role here at the Child Care Center?
I am what they call a float teacher, so I don't have a designated classroom of my own, so I float between the 4 classrooms. I go wherever I'm needed, whenever I'm needed.
Very cool to hear. Now, who are the children who are eligible to be cared for here at the center?
We are a student service, so we take children of students. So while the students are in their class or taking an exam, they can leave their children here and we will care for them. That is our primary focus. And then secondly, we take faculty. And lastly, if there's any space available, we will take community.
Very cool to hear. Now, some of the activities that children who come here to the center are able to do during the day?
We are a play-based center, so the children learn primarily through play. So as you can see here, we have our imaginative play area, and we have a dollhouse and some toys, some pretend food, some kitchen utensils, farm animals, baby dolls, kitchen set, so they can learn and explore and imitate what they see in the real world. And then we have our fine motor skills area where they do puzzles, shapes. The little pig shape sorter is my personal favorite. And then this is our quiet area. This is where the teacher will do a group time and read some books, and if they need a minute, they can just relax.
Very cool. Now, I don't think that these chairs would be able to fit me.
Probably not. They don't fit me either.
Nor do I think a lot of the spaces here would be able to. Now, what are some of the other facilities that you guys have here at the Child Care Center?
We have 4 classrooms, an infant room, which takes children from 6 weeks to a year. We have that toddler room we were in, which is 1 to 2, an early preschool room, and a preschool room, and an outdoor play space.
Very cool. Now, what are some of the educational things that kids will learn here?
Well, like I said, it is play-based, so they learn with hands-on experience and through play. They learn how to share, how to cooperate. In the older classrooms, they will learn pre-kindergarten skills to get them ready for school.
Now, you mentioned play spaces. We're in a different room now. What do the kids do when, obviously we live here in Wisconsin, what happens when it's a blizzard and it's negative 10 degrees outside?
Then we are very lucky that we have the space we're in right now. They play in this room. This is called our large motor room, and we have a plethora of things that they can do to burn off some energy, as all children need to burn off energy and be outside. We have a tunnel, a basketball hoop, balls, trucks, climber. My personal favorite is the stepping stones.
Very cool.
And ball pit. And then they can play in the train, on the train, beside the train. And then there's a mat on the floor that they can tumble around on.
Very cool. Very nice and colorful. Now, let's say that there is a student here who goes to MATC. They go to the MEC campus. They don't have anywhere to take their child during the day. How do they get in touch with you in the center here?
They would reach out to our coordinator at the center, and her name is Tracy Ruska.
Very cool. Well, I think it's time for us to wrap it up. I think I got to go to recess now that we're in this great play space. So thank you for having us, Michelle, and back to you in the studio.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks, Max. Looks like a great way for the kids to get their education started. If you're curious to uncover what the human eye can't see, then MATC's radiography program is for you. Student producers Lucius Burton and Claire Kornacki take us into the world of technology, life-saving imaging, and professionals who make it all possible. But first, we'll check in with student reporter Magnus Bondi, who's out and about asking students their thoughts on the new school year.
Hello everyone. Today we are in the S building. School is back in session, and we're going to be walking around and asking a few students some questions about what it's like to be back. I'm Magnus Bondi, and let's get right into it. All right, we are now joined by Dante. He is in Gen Eds. Dante, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine.
That's good to hear. So, how is your semester going so far?
It's going pretty good, you know, trying to get a handle of like classes.
Are there any goals that you've set for yourself this year?
Stay on top of grades and stuff, you know, study more focused on the educational aspect this year, not really too much on like friends and stuff, but it's always good to, you know, take a break when you need to.
Yeah. Change one thing about this semester, what would it be?
Get like more of a break. You know, I feel like I have been not really level-headed with like classes and stuff like that, so just like get a better understanding of like how I want my schedule to be.
Yeah. All right, we are with Nix from the audio production program. Nix, are you having a nice day today?
I'm having a pretty good day, yeah.
That's good to hear. How has your experience been so far this school year?
Pretty good. I've really enjoyed my classes. I've had only 2 ones that are kind of difficult, but so far so good. I have my first midterm coming up next week, and I'm feeling confident.
Do you think that MATC provides you with enough resources for you to function so far in this school year?
Oh, definitely. Between the bus pass, which helps me get to school, the different resources that I can talk to and email and call whenever I have questions, even the teachers have been very good at keeping an open line of communication with allowing me to get like if I need help with an assignment or just understanding of anything. They've been very accommodating in that front.
If you could change one thing about this school year, what would it be?
Implemented my sleep schedule better. I think when I went into it, I was still having that bad summer sleep schedule where you just go to bed at whatever time, and trying to implement going to bed at like 10 before like actually going back to school. I would have started doing that a lot earlier.
Well, nice. Well, thank you so much for the interview. I hope you have a fine day. And
Yes, thank you for having me on.
Of course. Good luck with your program.
As the new school year begins, students at MATC are jumping back into programs that prepare them for their future careers. Starting the year, many students have been involved in wanting to learn and explore the radiography program in the healthcare department. Students gain hands-on experience with modern equipment and real-world clinical training, building the skills they need to work in hospitals, clinics, and imaging centers. To get a closer look at the program, we'll explore what this year has in store for the next generation of new students.
So I am actually an alumni of MATC, and so I knew how good the school was just as far as professors and professionalism and landing a job after school. And so that pretty much drew me to it. I already had experience with that, and I lived in Milwaukee, and yeah, it was just it seems like they had a really good reputation for it.
While students starting in the program are getting a taste of professionalism that is required in their field, students who graduated are applying these skills in their everyday life, learning more about themselves than they ever could.
I think I'm really prepared to work with a variety of personalities. We go through several different clinic sites as well as hospitals, and I think that allowed me to really get a perspective of, okay, I might not fully get along with everybody, but I can work with everybody. And knowing that we all have the same end goal, which is patient safety, which is making sure they get the best possible image so that they can see anything going on, that's really helped me a lot. We have a lot of imaging equipment access that other places don't have. So some of the hospital systems, you're using the hospital equipment, which means you don't have access to personalized one-on-one time. We have tutors, and they open up the rooms and are available for one-on-one time with the actual equipment that you'd be using. So that's very helpful. And then we have the energized lab, so we're doing real-life x-rays.
With students being given the ability to learn how to be professional and gain hands-on knowledge with equipment they'll be using in their field, it's no wonder this program has a high waitlist for admission.
Well, the waitlist is extensive right now. Can be intimidating for students when they see the waitlist or they're told how many people are on a waitlist. But they also, I think, realize that if they stick with it, meaning if they don't get in the first time, we encourage them to reapply for the next year. So it can be very intimidating, but if you stick with it, it's worth the wait.
The radiography program at MATC continues to give students the skills and experience they need to succeed in healthcare. With the program evolving to meet high demands, the next generation of radiologists are ready to step into the field and make an impact.
Most excited to learn in this program, again, pretty much everything. And so all of it has just been really challenging and really fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully become a mammographer after this.
Wow. The passion for the radiography program and the excitement of our students really shows why MATC stands out among the rest. And now, joining us in the studio to give us a little more insight on waitlists and admissions, Dr. Nicole Tanner, the Director of Admissions and Testing. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. How are you today?
I'm wonderful.
So my first question is, how does the wait list system work?
First, it's not a waitlist system. It's a process, and it's a very simple process that's now a part of the application process. Students are able to opt into the waitlist programs.
Nice.
Sure, okay. And why do we start using this waitlist system?
There were some concerns that students didn't feel like they were moving. Obviously, some of the programs are extremely long. The wait list is long. So students were feeling like they weren't moving fairly throughout the process. So instead of petitioning, the Wisconsin College Technical System decided to move us forward into a wait list. That way we can confirm and show the date you applied, complete the application is the date you're on the wait list. So that date doesn't change.
Okay.
Sure. And how successful would you say that this wait system has been so far?
This semester will tell us. We just started
Okay.
this spring semester. We actually just rolled it out. It took a year process to put everything in place, but the spring semester is the first semester, so I'll be able to tell you more at the end of this semester.
Sure, I look forward to hearing about that.
Yes.
What would you say is a way that students can increase their chances of getting into the program?
Apply early. If you're interested in a program and you know it's a waitlist program, apply. Even if you're not sure if that's the program, again, you're on the wait list based on your application date. So if you're thinking about it, I recommend applying immediately to
Apply
get your
ASAP.
date.
Nice.
Apply ASAP, sure.
Understandable.
With any, just like with any other program.
Right.
My final question, what advice do you have for students who are just getting started, whether they're interested in the program and you know, how they could learn more and speed up their admissions process?
I would recommend them reach out to us as soon as they can, whether it's by Zoom or coming into one of the 4 campuses. Get as much information as possible. Again, if you're scheduling an appointment, still apply right away for a wait list to get your seat. Get your spot on that wait list. But once you're on that wait list, you still have an opportunity to speak with others to get more information about the program.
Sure, very cool. And maybe to go a little deeper into the program itself, what would you say is something that really makes it stand out among others across the country?
The waitlist program?
No, the program itself, the radiography program.
That I can't speak too much to about the actual program.
Sure.
Our health programs are very highly recommended throughout the state. The radiography, I'm not too versed in that specific program, but yes, the health programs throughout MATC are very highly recommended and requested, I should say, which hence our wait list is very extensive.
Right.
Top tier.
Right.
Yes.
Any other advice or suggestions that you could give to students who are you know, looking to apply?
A couple of things. Again, apply as soon as you can, whether it's a wait list program or any other program. We always recommend to apply early. Apply for your financial aid early. But the biggest thing for our wait list, make sure you're remaining in contact while you're on that wait list. If you're changing your email address, please let us know, because when a seat becomes available and we reach out to you, we have old information, you may miss out. Also, make sure your phone numbers are updated, and just try do your best to stay in contact with that program pathway to ensure any updates or any changes, you're part of that and staying abreast of what's going on.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for providing all the detailed information, and thank you again for joining us today on the show.
Again, thank you for helping me, and anytime I would love to come back.
Thank you for coming.
While we were enthralled in our talk about admissions, it seems that Chef Rahni snuck into the kitchen to cook up something good. How's it going over there, Chef Rahni?
Hey guys, thanks a lot. No matter whether you are preparing food in the winter or summertime, red pozole is always an amazing option. Red pozole is a hearty soup containing hominy kernels, vegetables, etc. So for the ingredients, I have chicken, chipotle paste, Mexican style hominy, lettuce, garlic powder, chicken bouillon, bay leaves or laurel leaves, and onions. And for my garnishes, I have limes, chopped up onions, red radishes, and shredded lettuce. So first, you are going to get a pot that's already warmed up, and you're going to add in your water. And once your water is warmed up, you're going to add in your chicken. Oh, got a messed up glove. Okay, now we're going to add in our garlic powder, our chicken bouillon, our quarter onion, and I want to say 2 bay leaves. And usually this takes around 45 minutes, but I already have some prepared already. I'm gonna get that out. Okay, so I have my chicken broth out already, and I'm going to add in my chipotle paste. I pureed my chipotle paste before I started recording, but it has chipotle, oregano, water, and tomatoes. I'm gonna add that in there. Then we're going to add in our hominy kernels. And then our shredded chicken. And again, we're gonna let that simmer for another 30 minutes. Gotta have some more prepared. Ooh, it's heavy. And here is our finished product. I'm gonna close the oven. And for our garnishes, I'm going to chop up some lettuce. Put that on top. Then I'm going to chop up a lime, give it a squeeze in there for a nice citrus effect. Put that right on top. Sprinkle in our radishes, nice pop of color, and our onions. Okay, and here is the finishing product. I'll say pozole is a very delicious dish. Keeps you nice and warm inside, especially for the winter time. It's very flavorful, but it's also a very simple dish. And this is how you make red pozole. Thank you guys for tuning in, and see you next time. Back to you, studio.
Oh, now that looks amazing, Chef Rahni, and it smells great. Oh, and it looks like Nick is ready for the MATC Minute. Let's hear it, Nick.
Veterans, follow your nose to S201 for the Back in Action Brunch on October 21st. Running from 10 to 11:30 a.m., student veterans are invited to a free continental breakfast and to learn about the offerings of the Veterans Resource Center. You can head over to the Oak Creek campus cafeteria on the 22nd for the Student Organization Fall Fest. Running from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., this event is all about showing off and celebrating the many student organizations here on campus. Also on the 22nd, the women's soccer team, men's soccer team, and the women's volleyball team are storming Madison College. The games are 2 hours long and back-to-back, running from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Get ready for a spooky night of fun with the Game Club as they have their Halloween Bash on the 23rd. There will be a Smash Bros. Tournament, a costume contest, snacks, and prizes. You can find them in M605 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. For more information on dates and times of these and all the other events happening around campus, check out matc.edu/events.
Thanks, Nick. I love popping by events on campuses, even between my classes. Now let's take a walk in the park with student producer Spencer Knoll for this week's Hidden Gem KE.
Hey everyone, I'm student producer Spencer Knoll, and this is another Hidden Gem KE. If you're looking for a great new spot to take a quick study break this year, look no further than Trestle Park.
Trestle Park is located at 501 East Erie Street along the river in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward District. This park, which opened in 2018, is wedged between two massive apartment complexes on what used to be an active railway. The park doesn't shy away from its past. Many railway elements can still be seen throughout the park, like these refurbished railroad crossing lights.
But the most obvious part is this massive swing bridge behind me.
Built in 1915, the bridge is 243 feet long and weighs over 800 tons. The park also has many native prairie plants as part of an effort to bring more native plants back to the area.
I'm student producer Spencer Knoll, and this has been another Hidden Gem KE.
Thanks, Spencer. That looks like a great spot to take a break from schoolwork and reconnect with nature. Nicole, thank Denzel, I'd like to thank you both of you for coming again on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
And of course, I'd like to thank you, the viewers, for joining us for the Season 10 premiere of MATC Now. I'm your host, Nick Calvache, and we hope to see you next week. Good night.